Hey, welcome back to my channel, everyone. If you have not watched part 1 of this video, please go ahead and check the description box below and watch that video. This is part 2 to the difference between lapbooking and notebooking. We talked about notebooking already, and now let's talk about lapbooking, okay? Lapbooking is basically like an educational scrapbook, but you definitely don't have to be a scrapbook guru in order to do lapbooking. In my opinion, lapbooking covers a specific topic that you're teaching, and a notebook may document the learning for a specific subject. So when I say topic, I mean if we're talking about the subject science, right? A notebook will cover all the topics that you may talk about within science, but a lapbook may pull out one of those topics that you're talking about and provide a visual to help the child learn about that topic in a lot more detail, okay? In a more hands-on approach. Hopefully that makes sense. So a lapbook is basically a file folder. You can use one file folder and put your information in, or you can use multiple file folders and glue them or staple them, tape them together in order to provide additional information depending on how deep you're diving into that topic. You can also use a binder for your lapbook if you so choose. I like to house all my lapbooks in one binder, or you can also use a binder for notebooking, but check out the other videos and talk about notebooking. I'm not going to go into that too much into detail in this video. This video is all about lapbooking, okay? So a lapbook, again, it's simply a file folder that contains many books within the lapbook. And I'll show you a few examples of what I'm talking about when I say little mini books or little components of the topic within the lapbook itself. Okay, a lapbook, like I said, it can accompany a specific topic that you want to dive into. It can be used for unit studies. So let's say you are focusing on science, and let's say you want to do a unit study on the water cycle. Instead of notebooking the water cycle, you may discuss the water cycle and the basics of what it is within your notebook, but your lapbook will go into detail, and it'll talk about condensation and show you pictures, and you can flip through it. It'll talk about evaporation and water vapor and transpiration and water and the heat from the sun. It may go into a lot of additional details with lots of images that you can flip through interactively in order for your child to learn that specific topic in a greater amount of detail than within that 1 or 1.5 page that you may have put within your notebook, which basically gives them a overall picture or a big picture view of that topic. But again, your lapbook gives them a different type of picture for that particular topic. A lapbook can come in any size, in my opinion. It doesn't have to be the size of a file folder. It doesn't have to be a square or a rectangle. You can cut it into whatever shape that you like. You can make them small lapbooks, or you can make them large file folder lapbooks. It totally depends on you, okay, and how creative you want to be as well. When you create the lapbook, I would say when creating a lapbook, allow your child to create the lapbook rather than you create it for them and then have them keep it. It's something about doing something with your hands and seeing it and doing the work while processing the information. It's something about that allows your child to learn the information on a much deeper level. So I know as parents, we want it to be neat and we want it to be clean and we want it to look a certain way. Do one for yourself then. If that's what you want, it's okay. Create one for yourself as a model or an image for the child. But try your best to allow the child to do it themselves, even if it comes out sloppy, even if it comes out in a way that makes you cringe because it looks so awful. But It's okay. That's how your child learns. Can you help them? Absolutely, but don't take over it, right? But depending on their age, you may want to start the lap book off for them. So you're going to write a little bit of text. You'll cut out everything to make sure it's neat. You'll place where you want the images and the text within the lap book itself and allow them to tape it and to glue it and talk through it with them as they're doing that. So that way both parties are getting what they want, right? A lap book is a great vehicle to teach content and process. Let me explain what that means. Content, in my opinion, is like, it allows, a lap book comes from interest-based learning. So let's call it interest-based learning and not content-driven. So it comes from internal motivation and passion from your child. They decide, hey, I want to learn about this particular thing. And maybe you can say, hey, go ahead, but I'm interested in what you're learning about. I want to learn something too. So can you go ahead and create a lap book for me so that I can kind of get a picture of what you're doing and what you're learning about? So they can write text if they want to. They can print information. They can go through a magazine if they want to. You know, they can cut things out in order to present it in such a way that they are learning the information as they're learning the information. And it gives you an opportunity to kind of see what they're doing and to have something that's a little bit more fun and not so text oriented, so that they are not reluctant into doing something on their own. And don't require that all the time. If you're going to do self-led or interest-led learning, you don't want an output or an end product or a deliverable at the end of everything. If kids want to learn something, let them learn it through a video or through reading and require nothing else but just to learn it themselves. But again, you may want to incorporate a little bit of lap booking if you so desire, and the child is willing to do that and take ownership of that as well. Okay, so process-oriented lap booking is really science-based learning, where you can do research, you can show your data, show your analysis of that data, show your end product or a summary of an experiment that your child has done. So instead of doing an experiment board, you can have your child do smaller experiments and use lap booking to visually present the information that they observed, the data they collected, the analysis they performed, in order to kind of tell the story of what this experiment was all about, to include their hypothesis and to include their understanding of why the results came out the way the results came out. You're okay, baby? No. No? Okay. And here are a few examples of our lap books. So this was a simple lap book, one file folder, okay? And we talked about the nervous system, okay? So we just cut out some images, okay? And then within this lap book, we just cut out some information from text that we printed out, and we put it here and highlighted. So this basically tells the story of the nervous system, but instead of putting one big sheet of paper, we cut it out in smaller chunks and then highlighted the most important information from each piece. And then here, we talked about the 4 lobes of the cerebrum. And then here's a picture of what those are. Here's some text. There's no perfect way of doing a lap book, guys. Just allow your child to be creative. So with this one, I allowed my child to do this on their own, okay? They did not want to write all this out, so I said, hey, let's just print it out, cut it, and put it in whatever order you want. And all these worksheets that he did, we said, hey, let's add it to your lap book. And that's how we did this lap book. Very simple, very easy, didn't take a lot of work or effort. Lap books that are incomplete, that we are working on, we keep in these little protectors until we get done with them. And even if we get done with them, I'll put them back into the protector, and then I put them into a notebook. I'll punch holes in them, and I'll put them into the notebook. So this one I didn't put in a protector, I just punch holes and put it in the notebook. These here, they have holes up here, but I might go ahead and put holes on the side and put them in the same binder. So let me show you this one. This is our language arts lap book. And a lap book can take you a day, it can take you a week, it can take you a month. It just depends on how long you're taking to teach the lesson. So this one here, we're not done with yet. But this one is about how to create interesting stories and sentences and paragraphs. How to hook your reader. Okay, so we just cut out some images in here. And this one was, again, it was one file folder, one simple file folder. And I just took that file folder and I folded it. Okay, so the file folder, just took it and just folded the two flaps. Okay, simple. So we talked about banned words, dress ups, and decorations. What are they? We talked about fanboys. Talked about what are they? Talked about the 5 W's. I don't think we did this one yet. Revise. How do we revise and edit? Some acronyms for revise and some acronyms for edit. And these here, once I take the paper clips out, they just fold out. Okay, we just roll it back up. They fold out and we roll it back up. Okay, so these are like little mini books within books, little mini books within this one larger book. Okay, and then back here, list of character traits. And we're going to also write within each area here. We're going to write how do we open stories, how we can close stories, for the endings and things of that nature. Okay. And you can go on YouTube to find out how some other YouTube moms create their lap books, and you can Google how to create lap books because they can be really elaborate or they can be really simple. Again, it's just totally up to you and how creative you want to be. This one here is our fraction lap book, where I took two file folders. This is one file folder, right? This is another file folder. And what I did was just take the two flaps and glue them together right here. Okay? And I thought it was cool. I called this our fraction lap book, and as you can see, it's half fractions. One half is one color, the other half is another color.
Mommy,
ooh, two halves make a whole.
Why applesauce, Mommy?
I'm gonna give you your applesauce, baby. Okay. So when we open it up, it opens up here. We're not done yet, although we are way past fractions. As we talk about fractions throughout the year, we just come back to this lap book and further enhance it. This goes into the basics of fractions. Again, all these printouts I just got online. And then we'll go into adding and subtracting fractions with different denominators. How you find common factors and multiples. Again, we just printed things out, and you can fold them however which way you choose. Made a boat out of this one. So you just go and print out anchor charts, or you can write them yourself. It's totally up to you. I do a lot of printouts. Okay. Multiplying fractions, we aren't done with that. And in the back of this will be dividing fractions. So that's our fraction lap book, you know. Doesn't have to be perfect, guys. You can do it however you like. And again, you can do this for any topic. You can do it for a math topic. You can do it for language arts, science, history. We're about to create a lap book for a timeline of history. We talked about the Ghana Empire, the Songhai Empire, the Mali Empire, and the events that took place with that. So we're going to create a timeline within a lap book that talks about the events that transpired from the Ghana Empire to the Songhai Empire for African history. So those are some examples of lap booking. Earlier I talked about how you can use a binder, a three-ring binder for notebooking and lap booking. So here's an example of notebooking with a 3-ring binder. So for Bible, we excuse me, my phone. So you can just print out the worksheets that you have your child do, and you can put it in a three-ring binder and use a pocket or a page protector for those things. So you can do that for notebooking instead of using a spiral notebook or composition notebook. You can use a 3-ring binder and put the page protector with worksheets that you give your children. Okay? So how do you choose between lap booking or notebooking? Which one is better, right? Honestly, in my opinion, we use both. As you can see through part 1 of this video and in part 2 of this video, we use both. I don't think one is better than the other. I don't think you should overdo it, meaning every assignment, every topic, every subject, every single time you're going through a lap book page or a notebook page. It's something fun. It's something different than textbook work or a worksheet that you want to give your child. So don't overdo it because it shouldn't become routine. It's something fun that you want to do ever so often with your children. I think using both a lap book and a notebook are 2 methods that you should definitely keep in your teacher toolbox in order to help your student learn about any particular topic that they're learning. One thing I will say is if your child isn't really proficient in writing or your child is a reluctant writer, you may not want to make them or force them into notebooking, because notebooking, like I said in my part 1 video, it's very text oriented. So maybe for those children or younger children, you may want to focus on doing a lot more lap booking, where maybe you can do the writing and they're cutting and pasting and taping the illustrations or visuals as complements to that text. Also, if your child loves to lap book or loves to notebook, regardless of age or grade, let them use that preferred method, okay? When you start teaching or incorporating note-taking skills and study skills, maybe in the middle school years, 5th grade and on, you definitely, in my opinion, want to have your children notebook through what they're learning, and they can add illustrations or visuals or drawings or whatever to complement the text, because it's a great reference guide for them to go back to for any particular topic within a subject that they are learning, especially if they are reading from a text or they are watching instruction. It's just a great way to have them document in their own words the way they understand the information, have them go back and make sure that information is correct, and then utilize that as a study guide if you give them tests or quizzes, or if you provide some type of review to ensure that they're comprehending what they're being taught. Okay. I would say also there is no magic age between choosing a notebook or a lap book. It just totally depends on your style and your child's style. Again, if they choose one versus the other, go ahead and do that, because at the end of the day, it's all about what? Learning. And it's not about learning the best way we parents learn. It's all about learning the best way our children may ascertain a particular topic or a particular subject. Okay, I think both notebooking and lapbooking are complementary to each other. And I was looking over on the side throughout the video if you notice that, because I have notes written on this side and I did not want to forget certain points that I wanted to make throughout this video. So again, they both complement each other. They work together, and the bottom line is it's all about learning. So again, if notebook works, let them notebook. If Lapbooking works, let them Lapbook. If both works, do both. That's my tip for you. So I hope you learned at least one thing within this video. I hope this video was helpful and useful to you. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. And as always, you make it a great day and be blessed. Bye. Want to say bye-bye? I know you want to say bye-bye. Say bye.
Bye.
Say see you later. Say have a blessed day. Have a blessed day.
Blessing.
Oh, blessings? Okay, say mwah.
Mwah.
All right, guys. Until we meet again in the next video. Make it a great day.